All right, so 5,000 is completely unrealistic. I can see how we're getting closer to that 150. What are we missing on, I
But
mean,
we haven't built you anything yet. So let's talk about your back wall. So, let's do straight walls. It's got a bump out with a storage thing inside. We know it's going to have an AV mounting kit because you'd like to have a monitor. My suggestion is make the storage at least 2 meters wide. Make your monitor at least 50 to 65 inches wide so it'll fit on that. But you want something, remember, your video is going to be viewed not like you and I are on the screen right now. It's going to be viewed on average from 10 to 15 feet away. So it's got to be big enough that it's going to capture somebody's attention, and hopefully it's compelling. Now you may move them in if you mention your product, if you get into specific details, fast forward, or you show a video clip. It's, you may use it as a presentation, and you're going to move closer. But but it's going to take some structure to be able to hold that monitor. Okay, then unless the burden is accepted by the staff to get everybody stopped and talking, then what else can we do to slow traffic down and get them to notice you? So that's where I'm saying a lot of times, you know, many companies are now not doing your traditional TV screen, but you're doing a built-in, literally, let's turn that wall into a giant LED monitor and do something really exciting and compelling. Um,
hmm.
but let's say you're going with a TV, and maybe what you're doing is um, uh, telling a story. Or I think one of the things I find very effective when you're in a smaller inline booth. If I were to ask you, Khalil, what's give me one or two benefits of doing business with your company. How's it going to change my life if I use that product that you're to showcase?
Yeah, it's, it's gonna make you feel, well, not feel, it's gonna make you more productive in the work that you do, so it's gonna save you some time and money,
Okay, and what do I
and
and so and what do I get to do with that time that I'm saving? Are you telling me that I can get out and see my kids' little league game regularly because I'm going to be able to wrap up at 4 every day? Or you
yeah, your output's gonna be much higher, so if you're, if you wanna be producing more, it's gonna increase your capacity, but if you just need to be more efficient, then yeah, you'll have that time back to do other stuff.
So I think one of the things is sometimes remember you have you have 3 to 5 seconds to get their attention on a show floor, and I need to know who you are, what
Yeah.
your offer is, and what's in it for me if I stop and I talk to you. So very often I will coach a company to let's have some fun, and we'll pick one benefit of doing business with your company and just let's exaggerate that and have some fun with that visually. I'll give you an example. I'm speaking with a client right now, and they are a Microsoft reseller. Their product is a platform that allows like 10, 20 different apps and softwares to play nicely on that on their platform. I'm learning with the term fabric in tech world has to do with your platform. And so in discussing with them, they say, well, we allow all these different brands to play well together. And I said, and we kind of stopped on that. I said, so they play well together. And so the end result was in their 20-foot branch office, there was a bump out in the middle, and there was 2 meters recessed here and 2 meters recessed on this side. And there was a mural on each one, and we chose this one had a playground with kids on the merry-go-round playing together. And this one had it was at a zoo with some animals playing because their giveaway was a stuffed monkey. So in the middle under the TV and the bump out, there was a shelf that had some of their giveaways, and I guess they're kind of known for that. But there was a conversation area, just some light furniture in each one where people could step in. There was a reception counter out front, which the greeting could take place and the pre-qualifications could take place. But it said, you know, something. The theme was playing well with others, and it had the logos of a lot of the partners around that TV. So it had the credibility of who their customers were. It was a fun visual to get people stuff. Why am I seeing kids on a jungle gym at a tech show?
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, that's an example and then the burden is really on the staff. So, one out of that 30,000 or the 5,000, one of the questions I should ask you is, how much money have you allocated to training your staff on how to get leads in this unique and unnatural?
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to realize is that doing it myself, not only am I putting more effort in to make this even happen and to get the booth together, but I'm putting more effort on my staff and not supporting them and being able to sell. But by going through this process, I save
Yeah.
myself the headache of the marshaling yard and the, you know, dealing with electricians and all that kind of stuff. But also, I'm able to save my staff the burden of having to come up with that great one-liner to get someone to stop, and
Yeah.
that energy of having to strike every conversation up
Here's
rather than getting people to come in and say, "Oh, what monkeys? Why are you giving monkeys out?"
here's the thing, Khalil. It sounds like you guys have you always been kind of managing your own trade show program and the exhibits and putting that together? Or
No, that's kind of our culture is we tend to do things ourselves. I mean,
yeah,
this is one of we don't do a lot of trade shows, but, everything that we do in our culture is like, "All right, let's be problem solvers and solutions makers, and let's fix it ourselves."
yeah,
But
I get it.
I see that this might not be the place to
Well,
do it.
and I understand the pressure for that because costs have just and we see it in our daily lives, but it's certainly happening in our business lives as costs have risen. However, there's some great exhibit house companies that are out there. If you're in a big city like you are, many are local. They don't have to be local. If you're going to the same show every year, maybe you want a relationship with an exhibit builder who's in that city. I'm going to tell you something. You know, everybody needs a lifeline in a strange trade show city because Murphy's Law is alive and well at a business event. So whether it's a forklift that cuts across your nice clean floor, or a crate is swinging around and it, whacks the acrylic wing on your back wall, or somebody bumps into or knocks over your podium or your table and a graphic gets kinked or dimpled or something's broken. There's no more helpless feeling than being in a strange trade show city and knowing, oh, you can go to the service desk and the general contractor can't always help in that emergency situation, but if they can, it's usually a very expensive proposition. So having a partner, I think internally, I think if your company makes a decision, let's focus on what we do, make our product great, going to get leads. It's the number one reason people go. And we need to get the right information so we can, qualify the opportunities and go after making sales. Let's let's spend a little more instead of 3 shows a year. Let's do 1, 2. Let's hire the professionals to handle the logistics, help us with the design, and make sure that we understand what our booth's job is. And then our people can behave in the booth in a way that's going to use the booth properly and they know what their role is and what it isn't. And, what are we using as a lead capture device? By the way, some great products out there, some great AI enhanced products out there that are very affordable that can help you capture that information and follow up faster. That's your job, right? Your job isn't really proving that you can go to Home
Yeah,
Depot and buy a bunch of PVC pipe and make yourself a cool back wall, right? So, and by the way,
yeah.
what does that do for your brand? Does that make you guys look world class? Because that's you're trying to impress the big guys out there at the show, I'm sure of it. So we're
Yeah.
talking about things that are unexpected costs. Um, again,
Well, I think also misunderstood. I mean, it's you don't know what you don't know. And as someone who's never really done the trade show thing and who's never remodeled their own bathroom, I don't know what happens when you
right?
are remodeling the second story bathroom and a hole goes through to your first
So
story.
maybe
Who do you call? Yeah.
we're gonna flush the idea of building your own booth. Is that what?
That's what I'm leaning towards. And I think that same effort, energy, and spend that I would give to doing everything
Yeah.
myself, I can actually focus on being more strategic with this event and making the most out of it and worrying about how we're going to convert business rather than how I put two by fours together.